Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil. Taking a look at the Hisuian Zoroark Vstar starter deck. A nice deck. It can do good, pretty big damage, and I think it's a pretty logical deck, straightforward-ish deck, although there is decision-making, don't get me wrong. But for newer players, which obviously you get these when you're a new player, all these starter decks, so that they're playable by new players is a good thing. So Tickling Curse is what the deck is designed to take advantage of most of the time. For 2 colorless energy, which we're generally paying for double turbo energy, which of course reduces damage by 20, but attacking for a single attachment is very important. Does 50 damage per Pokemon that you have in play that has damage counters on it, including the active Pokemon. So you could potentially get up to 300 damage if you're active and all the bench are damaged, and you have not double turbo energy. With double turbo, you're capping out at 280, but that's okay because that's really, that's really the number you want to get to anyway. So that's fine there, and it actually has a very nice V-Star power, which you'll want to take advantage of in pretty much in most games. Phantom Star. Which of course you're going to do once per game because it's a V-Star power set ability. You discard your hand, draw 7 cards. This seems very similar to a supporter, which I imagine we will see when we take a look at the trainers, right? So, but being able to use, it's Professor's Research, right? You probably know what that is. So being able to do a Professor's Research for a turn, essentially with Phantom Star, and then use another supporter is very nice. It does help things get set up a lot. So it's a 3/3 line there. We can attack with the basic V as well, but generally you attack with the V-Star. We need to get Pokemon damaged on it, so we have a few ways to do it. Well, one of the simple ways is we play 2 copies of Gengar. This is a Stage 2 deck that we don't play the basic nor the Stage 1, so we can't evolve it, but it's got the Netherworld Gate ability. Once during a turn, this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you can put it onto your bench, and if you do, you put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon. So boom, get in this discard pile. You can just slap 1 or 2 of them into play whenever you want to get damaged Pokemon to help fill up the bench. So that's super nice there. So glad to have 2 copies of that. And then we play a 4/4 line of Dodrio, the Doduo that it evolves from, although we're not attacking with it, but that's fine. But the Dodrio is very nice as an engine, as getting damage, and it is a single prize attacker to keep in mind as well. It's got the zooming draw ability. Once during a turn, you can put a damage counter on this Pokemon, and of course we want damage counters on it. And if you do that, you draw a card. So damage counter, draw cards. 100 HP, we can do it up to 9 times. Of course, we're making ourselves very vulnerable. So we're playing Manaphy for bench protection, and we play Jirachi so damage counters don't get placed on it, because otherwise a Sableye and a Lost Zone deck just ruins our day, right? So we kind of have to play both those cards. We don't want to bench them down unnecessarily because we do want to fill up the bench with as many Dodrios as possible, but those are necessary cards in a number of matchups. And Dodrio itself gets benefited by these damage counters too, because its attack, Ballistic Beak for 1 colorless energy, does 10 damage plus 30 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if you get up to 9 damage counters, 9 times 3, 270, 280 damage. So once again, so now 280 damage by a single prize Pokemon, although it's a lot of zooming draws that need to be done to get there, but we do have ways to speed up that damage as well. So that's the list of Pokemon and a nice little package there. We play 8 energies, all special energies, 4 double turbo energies. That's what we need to attack with Hisuian Zoroark Vstar. So 4 copies of that, and then 4 copies of Jet Energy. I don't believe the deck plays any switching trainers at all, so Jet Energy provides all the switching that the deck has, and it should be adequate with it. And we only need colorless energy to attack with, so it does, I think, make sense. We could have Psychic or Luminous Energy, to attack with the Gengar, but we probably don't need that. So this is a smart, Dodrio is a way to swing the Jet Energy is a way to swing that Dodrio from the bench into the active, particularly if we have a Zoroark that's really banged up but not knocked out. We can switch into a fresh Zoroark or the Dodrio. So nice to have that there. Okay, so ways to get damage into play besides Dodrio's ability and Gengar. With its ability, we play 4 copies of Gapejaw Bog. Whenever a basic Pokemon gets played from the hand onto the bench, put 2 damage counters onto that Pokemon, which is good. Now the problem is a lot of Pokemon's go into play not through not from the hand. If you play Nest Ball, which the deck plays 4 copies of Nest Ball, our Pokemon doesn't get damaged, so that's boo-hoo, sad for us. When we play when a Pokemon goes and play from Buddy-Buddy Poffin, which once again, well, no, we'll play 3 copies of, sorry, but again, doesn't go from hand, so we're not playing it from the hand onto the bench. So doesn't get damaged, and we like to damage opponents' Pokemon with Gapejaw Bog as well, but of course, again, Nest Ball, Buddy-Buddy Poffin avoids our opponent getting damaged as well, but it is useful. We do need to get that damage going for sure. Then we do play 4 copies of Damage Pump. This, you get to move, it's an item, you move up to 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. So they have to come from one Pokemon, and I believe then as it's worded here, we don't have to move them both to the same Pokemon. We should be able to move 2 damage counters from one Pokemon, but split them up between 2 other Pokemon. So each damage counter does, if you're a new player, by the way, damage counters each are worth 10 damage. It's a little weird the way it is, but generally what happens is you place damage counters, which is why damage counters are a thing. You put 2 damage counters, which is 1 is 10, 2 is 20. If we move them or replace them, like with Gapejaw Bog, you do damage, and that's where you do damage of 10 or something. And Gapejaw Bog places damage counters. So if you're new to the game, that's just the way Pokemon terminology is there. Okay, we've also, in terms of Pokemon search, for Nest Ball, I said, for Buddy-Buddy Poffin, we play. For Ultra Ball, we need to get those V-Stars into play. So that's just really, really important there. And for Capturing Aroma, you probably, if you've listened to a lot of my videos on my channel, you know I'm not a big fan of the card, but there are decks where it is the best choice, and it may be the right card for this deck. You search your deck for a card depending on the coin flip, if heads an evolution, if tails a basic. So hopefully you hit, it depends upon you hitting what you need on the coin toss, but we do need Pokemon search, so I'm going to do an upgraded deck too. We'll see if Capturing Aroma sticks in the deck or not. I'd love to get rid of it, but I do acknowledge there's times it is just plain necessary. And then the rest of the cards are supporters. We played 4 copies of Professor's Research, just really good for setting up. So like that. Honestly, I think we probably would want a Rod in this deck just to get some Pokemon back into the deck, but we don't have that now. So just be careful with Research and Zoroark Vstar ability discarding. You don't want to run out of Hisuian Zoroark Vstars. You only have 3 copies, and if you want to attack with all 3 of them, just be wary there, right? 2 copies of Iono, shuffle your hand. Each player shuffles hand, put it at the bottom of the deck, draws a card per prize. It's a good card early game. You see 6 fresh cards. Late game can make hopefully life difficult for your opponent there. 3 copies of Boss's Order, just super, super important supporter there. And 2 copies of Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking, one of the new supporters here. Search your deck for 2 cards, put them on top of your deck in any order you want. So, boom, the first one, if you get to draw a card with Dodrio, you get that into hand. If you have 2 Dodrios, boom, boom, you get both cards into hand, you know what you're drawing. So I think that'll be nice in the deck, Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking with Dodrio. So it's a logical pairing there. So that's the list. That's the 60. Let me just look at the trainers. Yeah, I got everything there. And it's a logical deck, and let's just take a look at it now in action. All right, let's see what happens. That took me a long time to find a game to match into, which is unusual. I don't know if there's some issues with the server going on or not, so hopefully there's not. Hopefully things work with the game, right? Live obviously is not fully optimized. I think is I think an understatement there, right? But it's what we have, and most of the time it works for me anyway. So, okay, so taking a mulligan, so they're going to know what I'm playing, I assume. Yeah, because, the Dodrio is actually not a bad attacker in and of itself. Getting it set up, all right, Jirachi to start. That's not what I want there. And in fact, in most matchups, I don't even want Jirachi in play. So that's not great. Am I going first or second, by the way? So I go second. Look at that. I got the... oh my! Oh, that's pretty sweet though. The text of the card is messed up. It's telling me it's a Dragonite V. It gives me the information so I know what I'm up against, but that's kind of funny. I just gotta say that's pretty funny, right? I'm just seeing the back of the card there, and not the card back they're using because they have some sleeves. So I'll drop down Zoroark. So it's Dragonite Vstar. So it is probably gonna be a Lost Zone, right? I think. What's the energy? Okay. So I'll attach my DTE. Slap down my Stadium because I need to get Pokemon damage. They also hopefully damage some of their Pokemon. I will flip my coin now. I almost might want to wait on it. That's kind of where I'm a little bit torn. But okay, I got a basic. Do I want to slap down? I want the Zoroark down. I think I might want to, I don't think I need Manaphy this turn, right? But I'm going to grab the Manaphy because I want to be ready for it. That's what I'm thinking. Actually, that was a mistake. I should have, because I don't want to bet Manaphy now, and I do want the damage counters on these Dodrios, the Doduos, and I don't get damage on them with this play, so that was a mistake. And I can't switch, right? The only switching card is Jet Energy, and I don't have it. So, all right, pass. So, not great. I'm laughing because I'm looking at my opponent's card. Oh, when I hover over it, it gives me the art, so that's good. Oh, it's lost the text. Okay, it just says it says what the Pokemon name is. It's got the card back. It's got the HP, correct, and it's a dragon type here with a little thing that it makes bigger to make it easier to read. It's got, I see they attached a lightning energy. When I click on the card to make it bigger, it loses the text. Okay, so so now what? All right, attaching an energy, and 250 can't attack again. He can. Okay, is he going to use his V-Star attack? Dragonite V-Star. I know Dragonite V, right? I think was played in Lost Zone decks, but not the V-Star so much. So this is, I kind of forget what so they need to get a water energy, and they do some decent damage. So I probably want to attack this turn, I'm thinking. So now I'm not so sure that I want to drop down the Manaphy, because I'm not sure what they're playing now. I thought I knew. I'm not going to knock them out. I don't. So this is good. So I'm going to need to Jet Energy in the active. So let me do that now. I do have my V-Star power, which could end up being good as well. Send him to the active right now. 80. So it's possible I can get the knockout though, isn't it? It is possible. So I wouldn't mind dropping. I want to get I kind of would like to drop down that Manaphy though, right? But I'm going to give up on the Manaphy because I want to get Dodrio, right? And as long as I get a Gengar in the discard pile, that's what I'll do. I will get, and I have my V-Star power, so I think I have game here. So I need a damage. I don't quite have it. So do I? So I want damage. No. Actually, that's not what I want, is it? Now that I think about it. Maybe I messed this up. So, actually, Gengar, Damage Pump. Yeah, I'm going to use my ability. Sorry, the Zoroark V-Star ability first, because I want to get both those cards into hand. I think. Well, I can't use Gengar. That's right, Gengar was a mistake. That was a mistake, but I think it will be okay. Maybe. Not quite. I'm coming up slightly short, aren't I? So let me draw my card here. Yeah, I messed up. But he's damaged now too. So maybe I think I'm going to come up just short. Yeah, if I had planned out better, I could have got the. I needed to get the Gengar on the discard pile, so I should Gengar on top, use Dodrio, get the Gengar on the discard pile. So I want one here, and I guess I'll just wait. I could move it somewhere else, but I think I'll leave my active fully healthy. And now, fortunately, I'm one damage counter short. I could have had game. I needed to get the Gengar. Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking. I needed to get Gengar on top, the damage pump second. Then what I could have done is you use the Dodrio. Wait, no. That doesn't make any sense. All right, so they're doing that. Up the HP. I have game here, right? So I just do this. I need a Vstar. That's what I need. Oh, and let me get something else. I'll grab this. A little extra draw. I have the energy already, so that's the key thing here. I have damage pump as well. So I could draw, I could use my damage pump to get that extra bit of damage around. I don't need it. I just have knockout, so I'll just knock them out. I could ramp up the damage. I could draw another card. I could draw 2 more cards, actually. But again, just unnecessary. So I'm not sure my opponent was playing there. Obviously, that turn with the Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking, what was I supposed? I didn't play it correctly. Did not. I needed to get. Oh, I needed to do the Gengar on top. The damage the damage pump second, then use the Dodrio's ability. Yeah. Then I get the Gengar into hand. Then use Zoroark's Vstar power, which gets the Gengar on the discard pile. I would have got 3 damage counters on the Gengar. I could have moved both of those off. Could have got all my Pokemon damaged, and would have had game. So I should have had game a turn earlier. Obviously, my opponent just didn't get anything going, so it didn't matter. But I should have won a turn earlier, and that's always a big deal. All right, hopefully I get a cleaner game. I won last game, but I butchered the sequencing one turn. I was going to say I made a mistake in the sequencing, but I just plain butchered the sequencing. I should have had game a turn earlier than I did. My opponent, it didn't matter. I still won, but I always need to play it. I always want to play a clean game, and you just want to get better, so it's good to think through. When you think you made a mistake, I talked it through after the game. I may include that game in the pod in the video. We'll see. Excuse me. A little cough from allergies there. I think I got the muting done properly, and I think I've turned the volume back on. That's the big issue. When I mute for the cough, sometimes I forget to turn the volume back on. So, okay, this isn't bad. This is not bad. I need to get damage around. So it's not terrible. We'll see what happens here. Buddy-Buddy Poffin get. Okay. So this guy's tough. All right, 2 damage pumps. Get 2 Doduos, I guess. All right, so 1. No, I have a Dodrio in hand. This is a good hand. Okay. So, and I just pass, and we'll see what happens. The question, assuming my hand stays the same, I'm trying to think through, should I research or should I Iono this turn, right? The damage pumps are good cards to not lose. Iono gets me 6 cards. All right, so they're really, okay, well, that's really nice for them. What was it? Did they have 1 in hand? Yeah, 1 in hand. So they need to get Dialga. I assume it's a Dialga Vstar deck, and I've been playing some Dialga Vstar. I look forward to, I'm going to make a video on that, because that is a very fun deck. And if they get going, look out. It will be trouble for me. Okay, so they're going to get a Dialga V down, and that's the key. I was hoping they'd miss the V this turn, which then it would put me in very nice shape. It's not going to. And they got all their Beldums down, so which evolves into Metang, I believe it is. They discarded a V-Star. They grabbed a Mew. Okay, all right. So they're gonna grab a Nest Ball and drop. Oh, that's brutal. If they have energy in hand, I'm in a lot of trouble. I've kind of I'm in a world of hurt now. I will say they might not have the energy though. They might attach the tool and then hope they draw a card with Mew. All right, Rod, which gets them back what? Just that partly the Rod there was larger than the deck. I mean, I think you probably you might have preferred to wait on the Rod, but they needed energy. If they hit the energy, they did. They got a nice shiny energy, a nice fancy looking energy there. That's bad news. Evolve a Dialga and one Beldum, which is going to be what happens. I just have to assume. Unless, well, they could be, it depends what's in hand, right? So I guess they have Dialga in hand. All right, so now I need to Iono. I got to assume they have the Dialga Vstar in hand, and I don't want them playing that. So, all right, I want to get some damage, I think, onto the Zoroark and the active. So, no, I can't. No, don't do that. That was a huge mistake. Okay, so huge mistake. I can't believe I did that. So, I was thinking I could move some damage counters, but it only does 10. So that was a big miss there. Okay, so let's see what I hit here. I have Gapejaw Bog, which is good as well. All right, so Gengar, I think, in the discard pot, because I want to discard him with the Ultra Ball, right? So I need to do this. I need to do that. So I need to get rid of one Gapejaw Bog and the Gengar. I have my V-Star power this turn as well. So what do I need here? Something to drop on the bench, I'm thinking. Something to drop on the bench. So, yeah. I mean, I could get another Gengar. I could grab a second Gengar because I'm going to discard it, right? So I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab my other Gengar so I can get my damage levels up. Maybe I should have done this differently. So Gapejaw Bog, drop that play. Gonna discard here. I need to get another V down though. And okay, that's very good. That's very good. So okay, those are nice cards there. Drop you down, and my discard pile should be glowing. So Gengar, click the Netherworld Gate, so you get to see how that worked. If you saw, I'll talk it through. Click the discard pile, it's glowing. Click the Gengar, which is glowing. Then click on Netherworld Gate ability, and it boom goes into play. Puts the damage on it, and I will just attack at this point, doing 230. Right, so that's nice. And 280, right? You know, so if they don't knock me out, I will one-shot a Dialga Vstar, which is really nice, right? I mean, so here's the thing. So can they one-shot me? Probably not. They might have to two-shot me, and they can two-shot me if they get the 5 energies on. They need to evolve, but they lost they've lost one potential Metang, and that's good. But they have 3 Metang, so that should be nice. They should get enough to attack. What I want to do, I want to take prizes this turn. So let's see what happens. So they need to get 4 energies on him, and they have free retreat. So I'm okay. So they should have. I thinking, since they didn't have any energy in hand, I think I might have used Metang first. I think because you want. This is a smart play now. Now you do play the level ball, and get the just thinning the deck out for sure. They can't evolve this turn, right? Because they played that Dialga V down this turn. That's why it's got the 20 damage. But just getting a card out of the deck makes a lot of sense. Can they take the knockout this turn? That's a big deal. And then if they do, can I get the return knockout? I've got to get damage on everything. But, you know, I definitely in position to do that. So, and did they play a supporter? I'm trying to think what they did. They played research, so I think I'll get the counter knockout. So they have a choice. They have 5 energies. They could use Star Chronos, but they don't take a knockout this turn. So I kind of don't mind this. I really don't. They're gonna knock me out, but they burn their Vstar power, in not getting extra prizes as the result of it, right? So that's kind of nice. This is kind of nice. So and now the difficulty is what's going to happen is this Vstar is going to finish me off. The one in the active. I should be able to one-shot him. I have to one-shot him. They might get enough energies attached to this other Dialga by the time they're attacking with it, they can probably one-shot me back, in which case they're going to win the prize race. Maybe. Now they have to get 3 Dialga V-Stars though. And so I don't know. They can copy me with genome hacking. They can knock out a Dodrio, certainly. I don't know they can take out a Zoroark. So, but they probably, you know, I think the deck. Okay, so counter catcher. So what do they want to do here? They're going to play counter catcher. So they're just doing the evolution just to get rid of it, which I think makes sense there. So they're just knocking me out. They have a Gust, which is fine. So I need a V and a V-Star. Hopefully neither of those are prized, right? That would be a big problem for me. So I think I just want to grab the V and the V-Star with my supporter, because I get both of those with the Dodrios, right? So hopefully I do. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to get both of these, so this is okay. They're all damaged, so I will draw a card here. You know, the damage pump to help power up the Dodrio is a good thing too. So I think I might just sit on this hand. I got to think about that one. So Gapejaw Bog is great that it's in play because this gets me to what I need to do the one shot. I'll have to get energy next turn, and I can't recover special energy with this deck. So although I don't need it, I have another one in hand, and if they knock out. So, boom, take the knockout. So for some reason, it didn't seem to want to click for a minute. I don't know what was up with that, if I was just not clicking properly or what. So, 2 prizes. I take the lead, but... okay, so damage pump. Potentially I could take a knockout with Dodrio, which would be good too. So we'll see what happens here. They have Prime Catcher. Which can knock out this V, and I still think it was. I mean, I guess you could make the argument I shouldn't have benched that Zoroark V. But I mean, obviously, I did. What are they doing now? So, dropping down another Dialga is what they want to do. And I think the deck list might play a 3/3 line. Oh, Metagross. Okay, so what does he do again? I wasn't playing it without Metagross, but I know people do play it. That's the stage 2 that devolves from Metang, and I don't remember what he does now. So, I can look at the log. That is awesome. So it does 200. So he can take out my. He needs 3 energy, so he's going to take out my Zoroark V. That's what's going to happen there. That's what's going to happen there, I think. So, I have Boss, though. They haven't used Supporter yet, so hopefully I keep this hand, right? I can Boss, take out the Dialga Vstar, and they have the Mew down, so They are attacking with single prizes though, so that. But I can attack with a Dodrio. I need to get a Jet Energy at some point. So they're going to take out, I assume, the Zoroark on the bench with their Metang. Now they haven't got the energy on him yet, so I don't know what they're going to do. You know, they should have probably gotten the energy on first. There wasn't a reason not to play the use the Metal Maker abilities, right? And actually, they didn't use the Metal Maker on the one in the active spot either, which they should have used. So I'm getting disrupted, so that's bad. I do play 3 research bosses orders, so I might be okay. I draw 2 extra cards, so I think I'm going to have to send up the Zoroark. Not loving my spot, so the problem is they knock out this. I've got to knock out the Doduo Vstar, or I have to attack with Dodrio. Those are my 2 options. Will I hit my energy? I can 3, 4, 5, so 150, 160. I need a second damage pump to get the knockout with Dodrio. Plus, I need the energy, so I don't think I want to use Dodrio. I don't, but I have to think about that. It gets tricky here, so we'll see what happens. That was Iono really hurt me, but you know that's. I had a big hand, so it's obviously super logical. I need 1 more energy, and I don't think they used that ability off of this Metang that's in the active. So that's pretty bad for them, I gotta say. Pretty bad. So, but right now I might not be able to attack, and that's not good either, right? I can attack for free and retreat to the bench, which I guess I would do. I'd love to hit a Jet Energy, right? Because then I might be able to get the knockout. Research. All right, research is good. Again, it could get me my Jet Energy, which is good too. You know, when I upgrade, I will put a Vstar in these decks as well. All right, well, I guess the deck really wants me to play research, so I think I want to get 30. Gets me to 50. I need another damage pump to get the knockout, but actually I want to take the damage off of my active, right? That's what I want to do. I don't want to take it off the Gengar. I want to keep him protected, right? And I will research, and I can't thin anything else. So Jet Energy, oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So I have knockout. All right, let me swing into the active and just see where. I'll just see what my damage numbers are, right? I'm pretty sure I need more damage, so I will move more damage counters over because that's what I should do. Just load him up, and this is. I could thin. I don't think there's a reason to do that. So, doing 220 damage. I mean, that's, you know, this guy Dodrio gets really scary. So, you know, you can build just a Dodrio deck. So maybe I have game now. We'll see what happens. I need boss. I have 3 bosses in deck, right? I'm not sure of the prize situation. I've got to have, you know, obviously the guaranteed 1 boss, probably 2 boss, probably 3 bosses. Be surprised if it's only 1 in deck, right? It's probably 2 or 3 in deck, so most likely, right? The average number now is, I don't know, 2.5 bosses in deck or something, probably based upon having 2 prizes left. So they can one-shot me. They need to gust me up, though. They use Prime Catcher. They could play, well, if they play Counter Catcher, they can use that. There's a good chance that, but I should have game, though. So that's really good. So actually, yeah, so I assume they're going to attack with Doduo Vstar. Okay, they're not, so that's just super awesome for me. So all right, so I mean, I'd like boss in hand. Trying to think here. I mean, I should have game. I just attack this turn with the Dodrio in the active, I'm pretty certain. Oh, and I have Boss, so that's exactly what I need, right? So Boss, look, I was almost guaranteed to win anyway, right? So, and they concede, and because I had options, I was gonna try to knock him out with the Dodrio just for fun. It wouldn't have taken that long, but I had the Jet Energy to get my guy inactive. Actually, I'm not sure what the retreat cost of the Dodrio is. I need to take a look at that, but the deck, you know, it's set up well and pretty well. And once you're set up with the Dodrios, you got a little bit of an engine, and you're doing, it's a good, you know, it does pretty big damage pretty consistently. All right, let's see what happens. Things started off so well with this deck when I first started recording these videos, and it's just fallen off a cliff, and that probably is fair. So let's see what happens. See if I can get one more win, or at least, you know, get a game where it's a tough matchup and things, I kind of make some moves, make some plays, right? So I'm going first, right? Sorry for the yawn there, but I don't have, you know, Buddy-Buddy Poffin would be super awesome, I will say. Otherwise, a Nest Ball. I use Capturing Aroma, and I probably have to use Ultra Ball. Oh, this is all right, can I make this work? This is bad. This is bad, right? All my attackers have abilities. So I probably, well, that's not true. I can attack with the V, right? I can attack with the V, and I two-shot them with the V. All right, let's think. What do I have? All right, getting Gengar on the discard pile is actually good. So I'll do that. So I will drop you down. I need to get my engine going as well. And yeah, I think I want another copy of him. I will Ultra Ball away Gengar. The boss could be really important in this game too. I might need Iono next turn though, right? I'll ditch the Iono because if the Vulpix is going to mean is that what I want to grab? Yeah, I'll do this. So if they may want to Iono me now. That's kind of my thought. If they Iono me, it's okay. And if they don't, that's probably even better. So Arceus, you know. Let's see what happens here. Okay, just a little poke at me. Maybe I should have. It's not great, right? Do I take out something here? Let's see what I hit on. Maybe I should have evolved the Doduo, right? Because he's not bad. Okay. If I hit an energy, then I can take out the Bidoof, so I'm gonna gust up the Bidoof and use my V-Star power. Just trying to, it's a really disruptive move, that's what I'll say. So I'm going to use my V-Star power, just get rid of my turn. I have Gengar to drop onto the bench as well. All right, so Jet Energy, super nice. Let's see what I hit here. I'm going to need to get a V into play too, probably just the basic V. So I'm going to get the basic V down too at this point, because he doesn't have an ability. He's the only guy that can actually smack into, oh, that was... No, that's okay. That's okay. Sorry. That was a mistake, but 34. So he now can take the knockout. liking that, I gotta say. Okay, so his damage level is exactly what I need. Let me drop down the Gengar while I'm here. Again, all abilities, Pokemon abilities, just across the board. That's all I got. So I'll attach here. I think I'll throw down my stadium too. So if they play stuff, they're going to they're just going to get some few damage counters. I should have probably gotten some damage counters on the Zoroark, I think. I need to... I have boss here, so this part... I mean, we'll see what happens. They can evolve, but they can't... They can attack, and they can pair up the Vulpix. So, right now, if my hand doesn't get disrupted... All right, to get rid of a Gapejaw Bog, which makes sense. Well, this is... Oh, they're using the Vstar power. Okay, okay, so see what happens. If this hand sticks, if they might want to... They didn't play support yet, right? So they probably want to Iono, I'm thinking. I gotta assume. I actually take out the Vulpix this next turn. A Nest Ball... Okay, Radiant Greninja. Did they grab an energy then? Research. Okay, this is awesome. This is awesome. So I can now, I didn't maximize the first turn. I understand that now, but I gust up the Vulpix, and that's okay. I have 0 recovery for my Pokemon or my energy, so that Lost City is actually good for me, and I don't want to bump that stadium yet because I'm going to blow you up and you're not going to be any good. So I've got to make sure I get my damage counters on spread around the way I want, but I'm pretty certain I do, right? If I need to, so let's see here. So I'm going to make sure. Well, do I get my damage counters spread around? Let's think this through. I can move 2, but I think I'm coming up short, so I might need to drop. I think I might need my Gapejaw Bog, is what I'm thinking now, because I have another Doduo, so I drop him down. So I've gotta knock him out. Well, don't. So just damage pump to these 2 guys. 10 there, 10 there. I'm actually, do I do enough? 2, 3. I need 10 more, and in order to do that, Gapejaw Bog. So unfortunately, I would have loved to Lost Zone him because it would have been awesome for me. But I need the damage. And I actually one-shot the Arceus, but I want to take out the Vulpix. That's who I really don't like here. So, boom, 280. And I do one-shot the Arceus Vstar. I've got to get things set up, but my bench is quite nicely set up here. So, that was awesome. That was awesome. And have research, have Iono if I don't want to discard my cards. And my opponent does have a pretty big hand size, so now... And they benched the Radiant Greninja, so now 2 knockouts and I win the game. So they probably have another Vulpix, and they probably, even if the other Vulpix, like the V's or the V-Star's prized, I didn't Lost Zone them, so they can rod them back into play. But they're not going to knock me out. I'm going to one-shot the V-Star, and oh, okay, that's even better for me because the Vulpix is still difficult for me, right? And they can share its care. They can do things to disrupt. Okay, so they're taking the knockout. But that's okay. That's okay. I need to... They have energy. Okay, they have water. Well, they do have water. Okay, so they have Noivern. Okay, it's a little countery deck. So let's see, Noivern to wall off, which I love to play. Basics, obviously that's not the deck for this matchup, so I need to get damage on to my other bench Pokemon. That's a given. So So actually Manaphy would be good too. But if I don't bench the Zoroark, I'm not guaranteed to get the knockout, right? So I'd rather have Manaphy. Manaphy actually might become really important in this deck. And they're looking through their prizes, it looks like to me. 4 energies in the discard, 2 water energies, so they're going to have to rod some back. I'm guessing, I don't know what the energy counts are, because what else did they play? Did they play Dark Energy, I think I saw, which was for the Noivern EX. So they can do, oh, they can do the second attack on Noivern, and that's very bad for me, right? That's very bad. So they failed on the energy, so I take him out, and Noivern obviously would have ruined my game. So I wasn't thinking about that, because the way I play it, I can't use the second attack, but they have the energy for the second attack. So I will use the Doduo ability first, I think. And because I'd like to get Manaphy down. See what happens. Opponent's being very slow, so I don't know. Maybe they've kind of given up here. So, okay, we'll see what happens. All right, so yeah, so my opponent appears to have stopped playing, unfortunately, right? So, so I'm going to send up the Zoroark. I need to get the knockout here. I mean, although it looks like my opponent quit, unfortunately. All right, so research maybe the play here. So maybe I should just... So I think maybe I should just research. So I'm going to drop down the Zoroark, get the knock. I need the extra 50 here. So this gets me the knockout. I can play the research, which is great. And I, you know, just kind of get things going a little bit better here. All right, so this is good stuff. I will draw a card. Obviously, I would love to get another. That's awesome there. Do this, and do I wanna? I'll ditch the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Just yeah, this is I'm liking this. Use my ability, and I'll attach a double turbo to the Zoroark. I think, yeah, I got to do that. I can't attach the Jet Energy because then I switch places and I don't get a knockout. So, 280. I think they're down to. I just have 1 prize card remaining, so I can actually boss his order for game 2. Like it's all probably over. Okay, that's nice too. So now I have game in hand. We'll see if they actually promote a card. Well, eventually something will get promoted. Probably my opponent stopped playing. That's just a problem with it. You know, kind of once people stop doing well, they just stop playing. I don't really understand it. I mean, either if you want to concede, I get it, or if you're going to keep playing, but just, you know, I guess they just walk away from the computer. I don't know. Are they people playing on multiple accounts at one time, so then they just ignore the account? I don't know. If you understand why this happens, it could be that they get that the game desynced for them and they can't get back in. That could be the case, but it seems like it often happens where the game kind of turns, that things don't go my opponent's way and they stop playing sometime. I mean, it's not all the time, but it does seem to happen. Maybe it is just strictly desyncing. So you know, so they just stopped doing things. I don't know why. Could be live glitching, but it could be that they just got frustrated once they felt they couldn't win. Anyway, the deck was kind of 500-ish, I guess, a little inconsistent there. Certainly, there's important decision making in the deck with the Vstar, the Dodrio, how to sequence Ciphermaniac's. Codebreaking is obviously very important, making the right decisions there. That one is obviously gets key. When do you use your Vstar power? Those are all the decisions you're going to make but 280 for 1 energy is a very nice attacking option, and the deck definitely can win games. And I do look forward to making an upgraded deck video in the near future. So have some fun playing some Pokemon, and take care.